to another video. Today I'll be ranking the Harry Potter movies. Now I will be including the 2 Fantastic Beasts movies, so there's 10 movies in total. Harry Potter is one of my favorite franchises. If you saw the last video, it's my 3rd favorite behind the MCU and the Star Wars franchise. I really love this franchise. It's very magical. And remember, this is just my opinion, so you don't have to agree with me. Let's get started.
These are dark times, there is no denying.
Tell me where he is.
Our world has faced no greater threat than it does today. But you can't fight this war on your own, Mr. Potter. He's too strong.
Coming in at last place is Deathly Hallows Part 1. I don't have strong feelings on this one. I think it's fine. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's very dull. It's mostly just set up. It got a lot of boring stuff, while the second part got all the awesome stuff. I did like Dobby, which is a redeeming quality, and some of the emotions were fine. Voldemort was intimidating, but Ron was pretty unlikable in this film. It gets a 6.5 out of 10 in total.
Please. Avada Kedavra.
At number 9 is The Half-Blood Prince. I think this film is very, very dark. I think it's probably the darkest. I thought some of the elements didn't match the Wizarding World, and I thought it was fine. The Death Eaters were sometimes bland, and Draco, most of it was bland, but the thing that bumps it up from last place is Dumbledore and the fire scene where he creates lots of fire. I love the relationship between Dumbledore and Harry, as they are kind of like mentor and student. I think that's very, very emotional when Dumbledore dies. I really love Dumbledore in this movie, and that's what makes it at number 9. I also think this film deserves a 6.5 out of 10. It's not too great. At number 8, I got Order of the Phoenix. I don't have a lot to say about this one, except for it's just fine. I usually don't talk about this movie. I did love Dumbledore versus Voldemort. Not much to say here. It's just a fine movie. I think it's just fine. It's not too good, not too bad. And that's about it. It gets a 7 out of 10 for me. I think it's a little better than Half-Blood Prince. At number 7, I've got the original Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I think this film's pretty solid. I don't like some of the Credence stuff, but I really love some of the Fantastic Beasts, like Bowtruckle and the Niffler, and the cast is great, and it's a fresh way to start off the Fantastic Beasts series, with Eddie Redmayne perfectly cast as Newt Scamander. This also gets a 7 out of 10. And number 7 is The Chamber of Secrets. I think this film is underrated, actually. I really love the finale, and the first two films have a different feel than the others, as they are the most magical, and it just has a different feel. I love the basilisk fight, and it's more of a mystery film, kind of like the first one. It still has basically the same feel. I think the first one beats it by a little bit because for me, I just enjoyed it a little bit more as it introduces the characters to us. But this film, it's really good. Check it out. The only negative I could say is that I thought that Hermione was out of the film for way too long. I love Emma Watson's portrayal of Hermione, and I was a bit disappointed to find out that she was barely in the film for the third and second act. With that, it gets a 7.5 out of 10.
I'm scared, Professor Dumbledore.
Everyone is scared of something.
Ridiculous!
Newt, you're up next. That's an unusual one. What Mr. Scamander fears above everything else is...
Having to work in an office, sir.
Entering our top 5 is Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. I love this movie. I think it's very underrated. I love Nicholas Flamel. He was really funny. I love the final battle. The CGI is great. There were too many plot lines, and that's a flaw, but I just love the CGI, and the beasts make up for it. I love the Niffler and young Dumbledore. I think Jude Law played him well. I think it's underrated. With that, it deserves an 8 out of 10.
Did you ever make anything happen? Anything you couldn't explain? You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
Entering our top 4 is the first movie, which is The Philosopher's Stone. I love this movie. There's a lot of Quidditch, which I love. The action's great. The CGI was surprisingly good for its time. I like Quirrell as a villain. I love how they think that it's actually Snape. That really makes sense after the last one if you watched it. I just think Quirrell is pretty cool. It's just a great introduction to this magical world. The first two, as I said, have more of a magical feel to them, as they were both directed by the same director, and then they changed. I really love this magical field. I kind of wish they kept it for maybe 1 or 2 more movies, and I just really love this film. This movie gets a solid 9 out of 10.
Expecto Patronum!
Entering our top 3 is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I really love this movie. I love time travel movies, and this is certainly a time travel movie. Hermione and Harry was really good. Ron got a little less screen time, but I didn't really mind that. I still wish he got a little bit more. I loved Harry in this movie, and the Expecto Patronum. Sirius is a very unique character in my opinion. I really love him, and the Expecto Patronum was just a really cool thing. This movie easily gets a 10 out of 10.
Harry, when the connection is broken, you must get to the portkey. We can linger for a moment to give you some time, but only a moment. Do you understand?
Harry, take my body back, will you? Take my body back to my father.
Let go. Sweetheart, you're ready. Let go. Let go!
Our runner-up is going to be The Goblet of Fire. I love this movie. I love the duel between Harry and Voldemort. It has great CGI, and I think it's a different story from the others. As the other have a magical school feel, this has the tournament feel, which is really unique. I think this is probably the most unique Harry Potter movie. The 3 challenges were very intense, and satisfying. The dragon battles, the merman, and finally the Voldemort battle. They're all great. I love this movie, and I just really love it. It's in my top 25 favorite films of all time. This film also gets a 10 out of 10. Finally, coming in at number 1, I've got Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. I love this movie. I love the battle between Voldemort and Harry and Snape's memories. Those are my 2 favorite moments from Harry Potter. It did not disappoint. I love the Battle of Hogwarts, and the score is amazing. The characters are likable, and we get to visit Hogwarts again. And it still has a magical feel as it recaptures it. As Half-Blood Prince and Deathly Hallows Part 1 didn't quite recapture it. This one did. I love Snape. I love Harry. It's just a really satisfying ending to one of the best movie franchises of all time. And I just really love this movie. You should check it out. It obviously gets a 10 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And as I finished filming this, I saw that I had 12 subscribers. Thanks for 12 subscribers. It really means a lot. Please subscribe and like. Bye.